Hi everyone, this is Kiran Preet and hope you all are doing fine. So I'm here on this Sunday bright morning and I am here to have a live with Divya Sujan. She is a fellow parenting coach and today we are going to talk about something very interesting. We are going to talk about hyperactivity in children and how it affects their growth and what we can do as parents to manage it better. Dear friends, I believe that this is a knowledge exchange. Whenever we feel that as a professional we know everything, for example, if as a parenting coach I feel that I know everything, that is the end of my growth. So to grow and to evolve better, it is very important to have a knowledge exchange from people who are in the field, are working in different areas and having different experiences. So today I will be having Divya Sujan with me, and she is a parenting coach, she is a YouTuber, she is a hands-on mom of a toddler, and I'm sure that we are going to have very purposeful, very informative talk. So let me see if I can just find her and take her on board. I hope she'll be joining us soon. Um,
Hello. Hi.
yeah, hi. Good morning. How are you doing, Divya?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's so wonderful to have you, and it's a bright, sunny morning, and the moods are uplifted.
Yes.
And we have something very interesting to talk about today. I think, people are going to enjoy it, especially the mothers
Yeah.
who are a little troubled because of their little munchkins having too much of activity at home. So
Correct.
these days, I get a lot of, queries related hyperactivity. And hyperactivity in today's generation is something which is normalized to a certain extent before it, points out to an underlying problem like ADHD. So
Mhm.
generally, the kids today are hyperactive. That's what we have noticed. So today we will not be touching ADHD. We will be talking about hyperactivity in children in general and how we can manage it better, right?
Yeah. So,
So
firstly, I would like to say, like all the parents who have joined, a big
yeah.
hi and a happy morning to everyone. Hope you all are having a great Sunday. So, thanks for joining us. So, yes, today we are speaking about hyperactivity in kids. So,
Yes.
how to deal with their anger, their tantrums, their disobedience. So, all about that we are going to cover it in this discussion.
Yeah.
And by the
Yeah.
end of this half an hour, I am pretty sure that all your concerns are going to be answered. So, stay
Definitely.
tuned. And also, I'd request that all your questions we are going to answer. So, comment your questions in the comment box. We'll answer all those questions by the end of this discussion.
Wonderful. You have taken off my role and you did it beautifully. So if we start with it, Divya, tell me how would you define hyperactivity in general in kids? If parents have to see that from where my child is going hyperactive, what is activity for them and what is hyperactivity for them? So if you just have to define that, how would you define that?
Yeah, if you ask me that what is my take on the today's generation kids, whether they are hyperactive or not, I would say that your kid is not hyperactive. They are exactly what they mean to be, what they need to be to face this world when they become adults. You know, for our generation, we may feel that today's generation kids are hyperactive because they do things which we never did when we were small. So, down the lane, 20 to 30 years from now, say in 2040s or 2050s, this is what is exactly required to face their millennium, generation. So what I feel is we were created as per our future and they are created as per their future. So
Exactly.
all the competition they are going to face, all the creativity that is required. So if your kid is low, then maybe you need to worry, but if your kid is high, then I don't think that's a big issue right now. You need to be happy that they are actually how they should be. So
Yeah.
firstly, let's not label them or like pass negative comments on them, or let's not blame them for what they are right now. I would say that let's see our child from the future perspective, from the eyes of future.
Mhm.
So
Exactly. And I feel that, instead of saying hyperactive, we can use the word energetic. They are very
yes.
energetic, they are very enthusiastic. And if I remember my childhood, it was a beautiful childhood. We had outdoors, we had a lot of things, right? But today's generation has a lot of pressure. When I was in second class, in third grade, I never had a pressure of, that I have to make videos, I have to be participating in all the contests, whatever is happening in our class. But today's kids, maximum of them are having this pressure because the parents are passing on that pressure. So what
Yes.
I feel that hyperactivity is passed on. As a
Right.
parent, you are very hyperactive, you are very energetic, and children generally absorb that. That hyperactivity, they involve, ooze that hyperactivity that which they take from their parents. If I go to next thing, and I really feel that parents will really want to know that as parents and as guardians, how we can make our hyperactive or highly energetic kids obey us, because this is a problem which I feel that when a child is labeled as hyperactive, or as are found to be energetic, what parents complain is that my child doesn't listen to me, they don't obey me. If I say things one, two, three times, they don't listen me. So
Right.
what are your tips, what are your takes on that, how you can make your child more obedient?
Right. So usually we keep telling them that stop watching TV, stop spilling out food, don't keep playing on your phone, you're too close to your screen, blah, blah, blah. We keep telling them things, but they may hear you, but do you really think they follow you?
Hmm.
The answer is absolutely no. The reason behind this is our frequency is different from the child's frequency. What I mean to say is, for example, if we want to listen to a radio FM, so what right now wherever we are sitting, we are having a number of radio stations around us, but we don't get to hear all of them at a time as soon as we switch on the radio, right? So we
Yeah,
get to hear only that frequency to which we tune into. If we tune into
absolutely.
98.3, we will be able to hear 98.3. So what I'm trying to say is that our frequency, when we are instructing something to our child to do something, is different from a child's frequency when he is receiving our instruction. So there is a mismatch. So this is the reason why most of the times our instruction goes out of, it doesn't work most of the
Yeah, it
times.
doesn't reach them actually.
Exactly. So because of this mismatch, so what can be done? How to tune to their frequency? How to connect to them? So
Yeah.
I have a simple formula. I would like to quickly share it with you. That is SLL. That is SLL. Stop, look, and listen. I would like to repeat it again. That's SLL formula. Stop, look, and listen. So, for example, if your kid is back from the school and he's very angry and he's saying to his mom that, Mom, today I was sent to principal's office. So, how a normal parent will react? He'll be shouting, he'll be bombarding. I know you would have done something wrong. You deserve this. You might have learned a good lesson. You're getting naughtier day by day. All such things we tend to say. But if you observe, we have disconnected, like we have failed to connect to our child here.
Yes.
So if we apply this SLL formula to this particular situation, stop. Stop judging. Stop screaming. Stop shouting. And most importantly, stop every other work when your kid is speaking to you.
Yes.
So, for example, if you are over the phone speaking to someone else, if you are working on a laptop, if you are busy cooking in the kitchen, or if you're doing some like daily housework, but when your kid, I recommend that whenever your kid speaks to you, just stop all of that for 2 minutes.
Yes. And focus on your child. Yeah.
Correct. So the first and foremost thing to tune to your child's frequency is to connect to to connect to your child is stop every other thing and just focus on what the child is speaking. The second thing is SLL. So the first one is stop. Second one is look. So we need to get down to our child's level and make an eye contact. I mean to
Yes.
say is both of you should be in the same eye level. And the third one is listen. So when now you can just ask the beta, now tell me what happened, what's wrong. Now when most of the times we keep complaining that my kid doesn't listen to me. But in majority cases, probability is that we are not listening to our kids. But if we follow this SLL strategy, I can guarantee that within a week, the bonding with your child will be strengthened. The tuning will be sharp and perfect, and the if the tuning is perfect, the child will do anything you want them to do. So, as I always
Absolutely.
say, with kids, be like kids, come to their level and win over it.
Definitely. It has been put so beautifully, Divya, that, SLL, stop, listen, and look and listen to your children. So that's wonderful because I truly believe that when you have to, connect with your child, it's very important to be present in their lives. Sometimes we are doing a lot of, things and we think that we can be multitasking and we can be talking to our child. But child
Yeah,
feels because you are the center of a child's life and child feels disconnected that nobody is interested in my conversation, nobody is interested in my school story, nothing. So it's very important and beautifully put that to connect with your child, it's very important to stop whatever you are doing, look into your child's eyes and listen to them patiently. That's what you have to do as parents. Wonderful.
correct.
So if I come to what activities we can do, there are a lot of activities which we can do with young children and to control their hyperactivity. So if you have to suggest certain activities, what would be on the top 3 5 if you want to mention few of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, I definitely have a certain set of activities that we can make the hyperactive kids to engage. In order to engage, we can prefer these activities. But before that, I would like to voice out something like. I'm really sorry to say this, but most of the parents they treat their kids like a bonded labor. They if you say sit, they have to sit down. If you say
Yeah.
stand, they have to stand up. If you say shut up, they have to shut up. But no, they have their own creativity. They have their own way of exploring things. So, what I feel is every child, every kid is an Einstein until we start, moving into their region. So, what I mean is, and we should not interfere. They
Yes.
have, yeah,
Yeah, on this, I have a very beautiful thing in my mind, which I always keep when I deal with my, older one, and she's going to be 8, and she behaves sometimes like a teenager. These days you see because of the pandemic, they have grown little faster. So what
yeah,
when I'm going to bash her or I'm going to talk bad to her, I just remind myself that she's kid today, but she will be a young adult tomorrow, and what will be her memory for her mother? mother, that my mother used to bash me, my mother used to talk bad with me. So always remember, the child is kid today, the child is child today, but sooner or later they will
Yes.
be adults. So
Grown
you
up.
have those adults. So keep that adult in mind, So that's very
Correct.
important. Yeah.
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 So
So
yeah,
what
coming to the activities.
I
So
think I have,
firstly,
yeah. Yeah.
sorry,
Is it
is that
good?
okay?
Can you hear me? I
Yes,
think the
yes, I
connection
can hear you.
is a little bit.
Your voice
Okay,
is clear, everything is perfect.
great. Yes, go ahead, please.
So, like, if we come to the activities that should be implemented, like,
Mhm.
firstly, I would like to tell is nature. Do you know that there is a proven, research that says that even if your child spends 20 minutes in nature on a daily basis, it brings down significant amounts of hyperactivity,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the times we tend to ignore it because maybe that is free of cost, but
Yeah.
it's really very very crucial. I'm not saying that that's a long lasting remedy, but it
Mm-hmm.
actually helps, it definitely helps.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I prefer to like take my daughter Suditya to nature whenever, like on a daily basis. I just take her, show cows, the buffaloes, and everything around the nature, and she absolutely loves it. What makes me happy is that now she's at a stage that when I ask her to choose between nature and like mobile phone or TV or
Yeah.
Cocomelon or the rhymes, she will choose nature for sure. So, so that's one thing I would like to recommend. And
Mm-hmm.
then the second thing is that we need to list down certain games that interest your child and also which makes their mind a little calm, peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
For
Mm-hmm.
example, we can make them to put a spoon in the mouth and then a lemon on top of it and walk straight, and if at all the lemon falls down, back to square one.
Yeah.
This way their mind gets steady, they tend to
Yeah.
concentrate one single thing at a time.
Yes.
So and also like keeping a book on the top of the head and walk straight, such simple games. And also we can say like close your eyes, stand on a single leg, and observe all the noises that you're able to hear. And
Mm-hmm.
you can also make some sounds, and at the end you can ask how many types of sounds did you hear. So
Yeah.
this is something related to the mind will be steady, they'll be able to concentrate, which is very important for a hyperactive kid.
Mm-hmm.
So some we can say that in the mind this scribbling will be like a straight line when we
Great
do
line,
it.
because they'll be focusing on something, around them. So that's
Correct, correct.
very good tip. Yeah.
And we should prefer spending more active evenings with our kids. Like instead of that screen time, we can just take them for a walk, which is like to an ice cream parlor which is far away, but that's okay. You're walking along with your kid and you're
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the nature, you're naming everything that you're able to see in the nature. That's a complete different experience. And
Definitely.
the last thing I would like to say is whatever, like anytime anything you do in the house, like any house chores you're doing, just ask your kid ki beta, can you please do this. It's not like come on, do this, do that. No, like they need respect, they need love, they need care, they're more emotional than adults. So you can just say, come on, I'm making some rotis, will you help me making the balls, or you can put ghee on top of
That's
rotis.
a good thing, actually. Making
Wow, you're doing
sandwiches.
such a great job. Yeah, correct. That also we need to encourage them so that they are happy doing it more and more. That may take a little longer, that may be a little more messier around, but I think that's okay. Why? Because it doesn't matter as long as you're together, you're making memories together, beautiful memories, and also the child
Absolutely.
is learning along with you. Because on the other hand, if you like, usually what happens is whenever we work, we don't want kids to be around. We'll say, hey, go out and play. Don't come near this area. I'll just quickly finish and come. You go out and play. Something like that we
Definitely.
tend to say. But a mother's work is never finished, and
Yeah.
eventually we tend to finish that entire relationship eventually. So let the child learn along with you. So if
Hmm.
you shout, on the other hand, if you just keep shouting, the child will learn to shout.
Yeah.
If you keep worrying, the child will learn to worry. But why you are shouting, why you are worrying, that's not the intelligence of your child. They'll
Yeah.
just imitate you. And that's again a very
Exactly.
big subject. But
Yes, the
hope,
role
yeah,
modeling, that's very important. Proper role modeling for your child is very important. And
correct.
here I would like to add one point that what I feel that what I have observed working so many years with parents and children, that generally initially we neglect our child's indications to us that they are getting bored, that's why they will be showing signs of hyperactivity and to take your attention, to attract your attention. So what we just ignore them, and as they grow up and as they're trouble, they become troublemakers in the home. Then we start running here and there how we can find help. So it's very important to start early,
Yeah.
that the way you have mentioned that nature thing, and doing those games, because once they grow up and their concentration goes way haywire all the way, so it becomes very difficult to control that. So it's very important to start early and involve your children in things which matter to you, like nature, the outdoor games, playing with you. Maybe it can be with clay, with sand, whatever is available outside with you. And maybe water. Water is a
Yes,
beautiful thing. If the season
correct.
permits, then you should allow your child to play with water. So I think you have
Water,
to start.
sand, what not,
Yeah.
everything in
Yes.
the nature is,
Everything.
because now we don't have the privilege to go in the middle of the road and play with sand and
Yes. Yes.
sprinkle water on us. We have this
Yes.
special privilege.
Yes, and but we have a lot of games. But the today's generation is privileged that we have all beautiful games with sand. We have beautiful games with water, which we can do, at home. And so I think that parents need to tune in before, in your language, they nearly need to tune in to their child's frequency to, get involved with them better and manage them better. So if I think I will be giving a call for all the parents who are listening to us, that if you have any questions, do put them into the comment box, and we will be taking that soon. And so if we have to come wrap up, if I have to wrap up and I have to ask you a parenting tip which you think that parents of hyperactive kids would really benefit from, what that parenting tip would be.
Okay, so like there are actually three parenting mantras that I want to share. So
Wonderful.
first, so firstly, like if at all I want to, I would say like it is impossible for me to raise children who are self-controlled and gentle when I am not.
Yeah.
So, firstly, in any situation, I have two choices. You know, either to scream at them, to bombard on them, and eventually, when the kid becomes a teenager, I might have to see him stepping away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Or number two is follow this SLL strategy, tune into their frequency and like create a bond, strengthen the relationship, and and eventually I'll be successful to raise decent human beings.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
No problem. And the second thing is sometimes, I have to keep reminding myself that I don't have to do things which somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
And number three is like sometimes, when things get me angry, sometimes. So, like for example, my daughter, she wants to jump from the chair, but I have a fear that she will be hurt. But you know what we do? Hey, I told you not to jump, don't jump, this that we'll be telling. But you know, they won't understand. They'll be like, why is she shouting? They'll not understand, you know. And eventually that may be a temporary solution, but eventually they'll ignore when we shout, which is more painful. So
Yeah.
because once we shout, they don't listen, then we have to raise our hand, which is even more painful, that even we don't want. So what I prefer to do is I express my feelings instead, because actually I'm feeling that I have an afraid, I have a fear inside that she'll be hurt, but I am showing it in the form of anger, which is not
Yeah.
correct. So I directly just tell her simply that, beta, I have a fear that you will fall down, you will be hurt, so be careful. Now she is 2 years old, but you know, even if she tends to ignore me and she tries to jump, okay, I'll be like watching out to her from a certain distance. But even if she jumps, you know, like even if she's little hurt, for some time she'll be like wah, crying, and then after that she'll understand, okay, what mom told was right. So
Yeah.
you know, next time when she wants to jump, she'll remember that, okay, I'll be hurt, so she'll call me, amma, get me down. So you know, this is how it works. And for example, if I give you another example, then I as soon as I enter the room, I see the whole milk, spilled on the floor just as soon as I have mopped it. It definitely gives me a heart attack, but you know, uh, I can't do anything else now. Whatever has happened. Now, how to deal with these? Like, what I do is I'll just ask her, okay, beta, what is like your best favorite cleaning music? Is it Coco Melon or anything? If she, whatever she asks, I'll just put it up and I'll just ask her, let's clean it up. Finished cleaning as soon as possible. And after
Yeah.
some time, when the kids, their mood is good, at that time I'll ask her ki, what do you think on what has just happened, or how can we do it differently in future? We can ask such thoughtful questions so that they'll think on it again. So
Yeah.
there are certain things which I follow. I guess it is helpful for like all the
Yeah.
moms out there.
Definitely. What I feel that, that you mentioned, that involving them in the process, if you want to teach them something, involve them in that process, and they will understand better that, if the child has spilled the milk, instead of shouting or saying it, now it has been done. So understanding and calming yourself down, that has already happened. So it doesn't happen again. So that is what your motto is all about, right? So
Right.
focus on that goal and involve the child in the cleaning process, and later on when everything is quiet and calm, then talk to your child in a very better way and giving your example. Sometimes we have to give our examples. We portray a parent who is very perfect.
Correct.
We were as children very perfect. But if you remember yourself and if you ask your parents, they will tell you that you were what kind of children you were. So why you why you expect your child to be the perfect child, and why you want to become the perfect mother? There is nothing like a perfect mother or perfect parent. The relationship has to be perfect.
That is
That is
what
what you
matters.
can work on.
Correct.
And then involve your child and let him experience the process. I think that is what is going to help them grow better. And I always say this thing, that when you are growing, raising your children, you raise them in a way that you are not going to make road for them. Wherever they will go, you will make a road, a smooth road. I will make with no bumpers, nothing. No, nothing is going to disturb my child's movement. It's never going to happen. So teach your child to grow in such a way that whatever hurdles come in between, they are capable of handling it better. So that's what.
Basically, we should allow them to face the difficulties.
Yeah.
Basically, we should allow them to explore, because this is how we learn. When we look back now,
Yeah.
like before 10 years or like 15 years back, we have good experience and bad experience. But
Yes.
you know, like bad experiences, they always teach us something.
Yes.
And they teach us something so strong that it has that building blocks of our strength, our
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah.
So that if we don't allow our kids to fail, then these are
Yeah.
all life skills. They have to learn all these things.
Yeah, absolutely. So that lesson, what they learn a hard way, stays with them forever. So that's very important to let them face sometimes, you know.
Yes.
And if we have some questions, I can't see many, but we would love to answer if somebody has some questions related to hyperactivity, how we could manage them better. And
Or,
but
anything
or
related, like anything
yeah,
will do.
or generally what we can do is that you can DM Divya, you can DM me, and if you have any queries, we can answer you personally on our DMs, and that would be a better option. I think I can't see many parents stepping in with questions. So it was a
Today's Sunday, so
wonderful
maybe they
conversation.
have some beautiful plans with their kids and all. We totally
Yes,
understand.
yes. And Sunday is a beautiful day, and if it is a bright Sunday like this, I think that makes your day brighter and beautiful, and more chirpier you are. So I wish you all a very beautiful Sunday. Hope you enjoy. And Divya, it was a beautiful start to my Sunday. Thank you very much. And it
Thank you
was
so
a
much.
wonderful knowledge exchange. You know, that's what I was saying in the starting, that whenever we think that we know everything, that's the end of our growth. And when as a professional we feel that our fellow professionals can teach us, we can learn from them, that's a wonderful thing, what I feel. And I
Right.
thank you for teaching me a lot of things. And I can see a question here. Should
Yes.
I read it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just scrolled down. Yeah, my son is going. This is Nitika, and she's saying my son is going to be 4 years old, and he's very hyperactive and is running all around all the time. I'm not able to handle his activeness. So, what is your take on that?
Actually, I'm not able to see this question. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
yeah.
may I know the name? Okay, Nikita. My
Nikita,
son
should
is
I
going
read
to
it for
be
you?
4 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm able to see the question right now.
yeah.
Okay, hi Nikita. I think like this session, whatever I think we have answered already your question.
Yes.
Like even I have a toddler who is 2 years old, 2.5 years old, and she is super hyperactive, I can say. But I have given certain we have just discussed certain points in this whole discussion,
Mm-hmm.
and we will be uploading it soon. So I think I don't have to repeat it again. It will be super long, but that's the same
Okay.
question which we have already discussed, and we will be uploading this video in case you have missed. So in apart from this, if like apart from this, if you have any other queries, you can just question us. He's even
Yeah.
premature.
Yeah, she adds on to this. Nikita, what I feel is that we mentioned a couple of things today, but what I can suggest you is that, if the child is premature, and but if the milestones, it is very
Correct.
important if you are parent, and if you're a parent of a 4-year-old, and especially the child has been a premature, it's very important to have a milestone chart ready, so that you can see that because I think the milestone chart, what the milestone chart do, it helps you understand that at this time the child will be behaving like this. Generally, it is according to the milestone, and it gives you a satisfaction
Correct.
that, your child is not the only one who is behaving like that. Secondly, I think you should talk to the parents around and stop comparing your child to other children. If there is somebody who is behaving very well, in a very better manner, so don't compare your child with others, and don't discuss your child's hyperactivity, or if he is doing something wrong with the pair with people around, with family members around. Don't label the child, because it will keep on increasing
the misbehavior or hyperactivity or too much of activeness. And thirdly, I feel that try to engage the child's, channelize the child's energy. That's very important. So take the child for outdoor activities as much as you can. And if especially the child is premature, then nature plays a big role for, in giving you a lot of things which you cannot even imagine. So, try to channelize the energy in a better way. Give your child a lot of clay, to play with clay. And sometimes I tend to tell parents that give your child clay. They say that we gave, the child doesn't play with the clay, because the child doesn't know what to do with that clay, what all you can do with that clay. So as a parent, if you are busy, your partner or somebody in the house can play with the child and show what all you can make with that clay, what creativity you can. And that is something which opens the door for the child, and the child is going to be involved for a longer time. So clay is a beautiful thing. Do add clay for your child and you are going to see a lot of difference. Then I think, then I think that let your child do coloring. Initially, if the child is not very good, make a picture, take the picture books and big picture books, and let the child color in that. It is going to involve the child for a longer time, and control the hyperactivity to a major extent. So I will ask Divya. You wanted to add something, Divya? Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to add to this that usually, now the kid is 4 years old, as she has said. But initially, when the kid is 1 year old or 2 years old, they achieve, like while they catch up with the milestones, we are actually with them. When the kid is trying to walk, we are actually with them. We are getting involved in the activity, and eventually we are so happy with the milestones when they reach, and we are so encouraging that, like whenever they are taking their first steps, eventually what happens, like we start, once the baby is like able to run and do his works, then we start, as do the coloring, do this, do that. We just give and we just go and take care of our work. So the moment we detach ourselves from the activities with the child, that moment, that child's, that growth chart, it eventually falls.
Yeah.
So our our involvement with them, even if I'm not that literate to sit with my child when they are studying, so that doesn't matter that I'm a literate or no, but I have to sit with some book or something with them, so they'll
Yeah.
feel like. So this way, in any activity, we need to involve ourselves, as Kiran has said.
Definitely. Involvement, parents' involvement is very important to build child's confidence, and to, because what you will be showcasing, that child is going to learn definitely. You are going to upgrade their level to, and their knowledge. So it's very important to involve yourself as a parent. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Nitika.
So,
I hope your
Nikita,
question
don't
has been
worry,
answered.
don't be depressed, don't let
Yeah.
yourself down. You're a great mother, you're doing a great job. So, just have faith in your kid and just keep that milestone thing.
Yeah.
That's what that matters, and everything else, you don't have to compare with anyone. Everything is just perfect. So, be happy.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Divya, for joining me today and for this wonderful conversation. It was a, knowledge exchange which I'm going to cherish. Thank you very much, and hope to have more meaningful, purposeful conversations in coming times. Thank you very much, and thank you everyone who joined us
Thank you,
today.
Kiran.
And
Thank you all the parents. Wishing you a happy and stress-free parenting. Bye.
yeah, thank you. Bye bye. Take care, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.